Crissy O's Clucky Chronicles, and today we're going to talk about I got worms and I'm going to get worms. Not what you think, but anyway, we're going to talk a little bit about it, how we're setting up our first little bits of worms and what kind of worms we're going to get and what we're going to be doing with all these worms. So follow along. You're going to see, and we're going to try to learn you a little something, as we say down here in the South. So we'll teach you a little bit of something, maybe. Probably not. But anyway, we're going to work on it. So don't forget, like, subscribe, watch, follow, share, do a cartwheel, whatever makes your little feathered heart happy. Alright? Here we go. Now what in the heck is this thing right here? It says, I got worms. This is a worm bucket. We've used it before. It's a pretty good little worm bucket. You can get it, obviously, at wormbucket.com. No, I'm not sponsored by them. We just kind of like the setup. You got these little vent holes up here. There's just tiers of different buckets and what it's for. And this is basically for red wigglers or night crawlers or any kind of little skinny little ground worm or earthworm that you can come up with, that you can use for your garden or to use to feed your flock. Doesn't matter. Whatever it is you want to do. You can use coconut coir on the inside of these things. You can use peat moss. You can add different things to it. We feed ours about every 7 days, depending on what they've been eating and how active they are. Now, some of y'all are going to be like, what is this for? This is a worm tap. This right here is where all that worm juice comes to the bottom. All that wormy, potent goodness goes to the bottom. And you can actually use the drippings and the droppings of these worms and dilute it a little bit, and you can use it as fertilizer. I don't use the worm droppings full strength because it's potent and it'll kill your plants. Trust me. Been there, done that. Got the worm pee for it to show. Anyway, so now we're going to get a little bit of a little tour on how this bucket is set up and what we're going to be doing and how we're going to be doing it. So go ahead and open up the top here. Now, what have you got in here for our worms that will be coming in?
This is peat moss.
Peat moss. Peat. And we can use peat moss or coconut coir, right? Mm-hmm. And right now everything is dry and there's no worms in it just yet. And what we will do is we'll start off in a corner. You can feed them cardboard. We use scraps, fruit scraps. You can actually go and look up what you can feed worms and what you can't feed them. They will reproduce, they will eat, and the more they eat, the more wonderful worm compost they will have, right? So we have this level right here. Now let's take this out and show them the next level. It's kind of stuck. Okay, y'all, this ain't rocket science here. I said we's gonna learn them. There you go. Now, so all of this, where that tap goes, is where all the drippings and the worm juice, the worm pee, all the liquid basically goes in here. So this is your collection reservoir. This bucket right here is to contain your worms. And if you hold that bucket up higher, you can see that there's holes on the bottom, and that's where all that stuff drips through. Now, you might get a worm or two that falls through in here. Generally not. I haven't had that problem, but they can go in there, but they can go back, find their way back up in those holes. But that is your start to growing your worms and your worm bucket. Now, we talked about 2 different kinds of worms. Those, we'll figure out what kind of worms we're going to get. Last time we had some of those night crawler, extra long, earthwormy things. But I'll let you know what we're going to get later on. And we'll actually show them to you once we start growing them again. The chickens ate the other ones because they got they needed snackies during the wintertime and whatever. Anyway, so now we have this 3-tiered bucket here. You can get them at Walmart. I think we got this one at Walmart, didn't we? It's got little wheels on it, so it's mobile. So what we're going to use this for, open up the little drawer and let's show them what we've got. We've got the screen material that's in there, and we've got it hot glued around. We use oats and all different kinds of things to go in there, and apples and stuff. We are going to get mealworms. Now this is not a huge mealworm operation, and everybody has their own way of doing it, which is perfectly fine. But with these little screens and all this little stuff, we'll have them dropping down to one to the next tier, and the bottom tier will be basically a collection bin. And we've got some sifters and some different kinds of things that we're going to have fixed up for these lovely mealworms. And they come from a beetle. They come from a beetle. So we're going to order some beetles, and we'll tell you where we're going to order those from and how many we're going to get and all that good stuff. And we're going to have a good time with mealworms and with these worms in the bucket. So stay tuned, because we're probably going to show you a little bit more about how we dry them out and feeding them to our chickens and ducks, so we can kind of help ease a little bit of the burden and the price as far as dried mealworms go by growing our own. And if this works out, we may increase our operation. You don't ever know. But right now, when you want to start out and you want to do something, start out small, y'all. Start out small. Don't go big. Don't go big in case something happens. We cleaned the pool out again, and you can see how murky it already gets. The quail, they're just all over the place. And these little babies right out here, good gracious. Jane Lily, your hair is a mess, girl. Did you not take a bath? I mean, you got a big pool right here. Why are you dirty? Anyway, they're just all having a good time today, aren't you? See all those mealworms on the ground? Mealworms in buckets. We've got mealworms upon mealworms. They love mealworms. Everybody, I think, loves mealworms. Well, I know the quail love mealworms, and I know the baby ducks love mealworms. So this is one of the reasons why we're going to just start mealworms. Plus, it's something new. It's something very new and something that they enjoy. It's a good source of protein. So we're going to do our thing with the mealworms, and the dried mealworms, they look like that. So if I take mealworms here and see if anybody will come and get one, they probably won't, because they're too busy going into the barn. The fans are in there too. Somebody's got a feather on their beak where they've pulled a quail feather out. But anyway, so these mealworms right here, you guys know about these. If you don't, they're just dried mealworms. They come from a beetle, and they can get kind of pricey and expensive when it comes to having them, you know, purchasing them and buying them. And you can get them from private people, box stores, all kinds of stuff. You can get them, but they can cost you a lot of money. But it's a good source of protein, and it's a good form of snackies, and you can use it for training, or just do like we do and feed them one time a day with it. So there you go. Yeah, I hear you, girls. Are you going to take a nap? Me too. I need a nap. Yeah. I'm going to go take me a nap. Y'all made a mess in here again. I got to clean it back out. Go take you a nap. Good night. So this is Molly Mae. Molly for short. She is so sweet, but she is the boss. She established her duck pecking order really quick for the baby barn, the duck barn, and the quail barn. She really loves mealworms. She loves lettuce and garden peas and mealworms. So we try to grow what we can. Doesn't always work some years, some growing seasons. Like this year, it's been so dry, even with watering things, the growing season has really just been a big old bummer. But anyway, we're going to start with the mealworms and do that. We'll let you know how it goes. And Molly is super excited because she enjoys mealworms, don't you? She loves mealworms, and she is so pretty. Look at that beautiful head, and look at her colors. Well, she doesn't want you to see. I'm not showing them your booty. Hold on, girl. Look. Look at that. Molly Mae, you know your mommy's sweetheart, girl. Mama loves her, does. Okay, she wants to get back into the pool. You want to get back into the pool? Okay. All right. Let's go get back into the pool and cool off. Sherry's a tiny little thing, but don't let that fool you, because her appetite for some mealworms and other types of grubs and things is voracious. She's a cute little Indian runner, and we just couldn't be happier for her. She's so sweet. She's the bestest girl in the world. Don't tell the others I said that. Monique is very camera shy. She doesn't like cameras. She doesn't like phones. But she loves snackies. And she loves garden peas. And when I even mention the word snacky, she literally loses her absolute mind. I'm going to go get you some garden peas. You want some garden peas? How about that? Okay. And the star of the show, Jane Lily. We're going to feed them some garden peas and let you guys see how they dive at the bottom of the pool. While it's somewhat clear, we did change the water out today, but you know, these little rascals, they pee and poo and do everything in there. They have all kinds of mud and nasties and just, I know, different kinds of things. But when I tell you, if you don't have a duck, get you one. And if you don't have a white crested duck like mine, get you a Jane Lily. Jane Lily has her own fan club. She's fangirling. Yeah. Jane Lily is not jealous of anybody. She loves herself pretty good. So I'm muddy. I got duck mud everywhere. I can't even talk. Chicken mud everywhere. And now I'm getting ready to get really muddy when I go in here in the greenhouse. So we are watering again. We have to water twice a day. This is the method that we have to do. So you do you. And a bug just flew in my eyeball. Anyway, you do you. And if you can't do you, I don't know who to tell you to be. Be a pineapple or something. Just be friendly. Be good. Be nice to yourself, be nice to others. And if you can't, I don't know, go visit a cave somewhere and see if you can be friendly with a grizzly bear. Alright, like, subscribe, share. We'll see you guys YouTube shorts every day at 8 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. The vlogs, the longer versions of our videos are Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays. They start at 12 noon Eastern Standard Time. And we'll see you guys again on the flip side. So, bye.